What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we are going to be starting on our brand new series on the channel for the Yu-Gi-Oh manga reviews. Now this is something I've been wanting to do for a little while now. Actually, it was before I basically took like an 6 month break from Yu-Gi-Oh. I kind of wanted to start doing the manga before we got up to sevens, but because I did had a lot of stuff going on and all that kind of stuff, I've already explained it enough to you guys that I don't need to keep explaining it. This was something that I wanted to do while we waited, and unfortunately didn't come to pass. But since we do have some time now, and I'm getting back into swing of things of making videos and stuff like that, I thought this would be a great opportunity to start this series off. Now, let me kind of explain how I'm going to be doing this series. I'm going to be going through GX through the OCG Structures manga because I've been actually reading that on my own time and I've actually been really enjoying it. So I would like to get my reviews when I actually have the chance to do that. But I decided to start with GX and go all the way down. The reason I'm skipping Duel Monsters is because what my plan is, I want to start doing the original trilogies. Not right now because I want to focus mainly on sevens and just keep my mindset on that because that's enough reviews for the anime. I'm not gonna go back and try to watch the other ones while trying to watch sevens. And I'm just gonna be waiting on that. And since Duel Monsters, the anime, and the one in the manga are very, very similar, I think it would just be best just to do the anime. But I will talk about season 0 because I know a lot of people will mention that. I have actually never seen season 0, so I'll do a review on that. And then I know there's some stuff with like Capsule Monsters. We'll review that during the Yu-Gi-Oh series as well, and then the DSOD movie. Maybe I'll make a movie review. I don't know when, but we'll see what happens. But we'll be going through GX, then 5Ds, and Zexal, then Arc 5, and then we'll go to OCG structures. Gosh, I can't talk today, but enough of my blabbing. Let's get right into the video. Overall, I thought this was a pretty decent start to the Yu-Gi-Oh GX manga. I thought it was a good starting chapter. We get introduced to 5 of the main cast crews for this manga, and we just meet a side character. There really wasn't much. It was just to introduce us. Normally, they aren't the biggest when they're big when they first start, but like they get better as they go on. So yeah, and I want to quickly mention too, I have read up to chapter 12 of the GX manga. I have not read any other manga except these 12 chapters, so bear with me as if I feel like a total noob to these, it's just because of the fact I've never read them before. But the chapter begins by just basically explaining what Duel Academy is, how the rank system is, like Obelisk Blue, Slifer Red, or Raw Yellow and Slifer Red. Then we get introduced to Jaden, which is or actually, you know what? I forgot. It's called Oris Red. So the one manga that I'm reading follows it by their names from the subbed version of it, from like if you're watching the anime or something like that. So I'll be referring to them by their sub names instead of the dub names from the anime. I don't know what the official one is. I don't have the official mangas with me at the time. Hopefully I can get them soon. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that, but I would just like to have them to see what they do. I know you can get the Jaden Yuki version, which just has the regular names from the dub, but I want to see if I can get the one with the names from the sub, because I use Viz Media for reading my mangas, or Imgur. So if you guys want to read them yourself, go to those 2 sites and you can go and find them. You have to pay on Viz Media, and I don't believe you have to pay in Imgur, but I like reading the manga, so I don't really mind either one of those. But that's beside the point. But we get introduced to Judai Yuki, which is going to be the main protagonist of the show. We also get introduced to his best friend, Sho Marufuji. And yeah, basically they just duel for the fun of it. Jin chillaxing on his own. Cyrus is out doing a duel with the new teacher. Apparently there was a new teacher that was going to school that was going to start teaching there, and we get introduced to Asuka Tenjoy, which is the female role in the Yu-Gi-Oh GX. She basically goes to him and talks to Judai about what is going on and about the rumors of this new teacher, which is named Ryuga. So basically what happens is every time you duel Ryuga, you actually duelists have been losing their cards. Like, their cards are being stolen by Ryuga. So basically, every time he wins the duel, he would be stealing their cards as basically the penalty for dueling him. Which to me is just ridiculous. I don't think that's right one bit. I mean, it's just plain bullying. It's just not right. But after the little discussion, Judai goes up and meets with Sho. Finds out that Sho had his cards taken away from him. And this guy is going in his, I believe, at a 45 win streak, which is pretty good, I guess. I mean, from something that we see it with him, I think that's a little bit unfair, but we'll get into that in a minute. So we see him in a, I think he was just in a talk with Professor Kronos, I, which I'll do this because I don't know if people don't know. Professor Kronos is, you know, the blonde haired dude, the basically the teacher that hates Jade and Yuki. And even in this version of the manga too, we learn a little later that he actually beats Professor Kronos in this version as well. So that at least they stuck to the original one. I can't even remember the dub name anymore. What was his dub name? Professor Crowler, there we go. I couldn't remember the name. I'm trying to do these sub names. I'm also now forgetting the dub ones. But they talk about how, like, once he gets 50 consecutive wins, he'll be able to become a teacher at the, or a professor at the school. And basically, he'll become the professor, take over Kronos' spot, and basically brainwash the whole entire Duel Academy and run an army based on it. Which, it's not the first time we kind of seen that stuff happen. You guys remember the Society of Light from GX? Yeah, that's basically what this is. But he comes out and they actually run into Judai in the show, and Judai right off the bat asks him for a duel. And that's what ends up happening. Because apparently after Sho's duel, he won 4 more duels. This was going to be his last duel. If he won this duel, he was going to become the professor. If he lost, he had to get back all the cards that he had taken away. So we get right into the duel. Now, the duel actually starts midway. I think turn 5 was the turn that they were on. I could be wrong on that. I know it was ahead of turns. Judai was in the lead. He had already had Wildheart on the field, and he has Elemental Hero Sparkman on the field with Ryu, and has 4,000 life points, while Ryuga has 3,250 and has monsters. I don't know all the monsters. I only know the ace monster they had. But it goes to his turn after he attacks with Wildheart, and it goes to his turn, and he activates Ultra. What was it? It was the. I remember this card because it was Hasselberry. It was like it was like Ultra Evolution, which he tributes his dinosaur monster on the field to summon Cyber Dinosaur. He attacks Wild Heart, destroys it. He goes to his next turn and he draws Fusion. He goes to activate it, but this is what happened with Sho. He activated the ring on his finger, I think it's on his it's either on his middle finger or it's on his ring finger. He has this ring to where it malfunctions the dual disc system to where your spells cards or your magic cards, how they normally call it in the sub, their magic cards were not working. So every time Jaden or Judai tried to activate Fusion, it would not work. He could not activate Fusion. And he thought he accidentally broke it because for some reason he thought it was a good idea to throw his dual disc as a frisbee. I mean, I don't think this guy really needed to try to do that. I mean, obviously it still works, as we'll learn out in future chapters. So it was the ring. It wasn't because he was throwing his dual disc like a frisbee, like a moron. But he can't. If you summons Ocean, ends his turn. Oh, he places them in defense position, ends their turn. He summons another monster onto the field. He goes for the attack. Was able to attack directly because of Cyber Dragon's effect. I think it was Cyber Dragon, or was the other monster on the field. He was able to attack directly. He goes to destroy. I think he goes and destroys Sparkman, and then that was his entire turn. It goes to Judai's turn, and he gets the card that he needs. He sets 2 cards face down and summons Elemental Hero Woodsman. Ends his turn. he goes for the attack to finish off Ocean and to finish Judai off, but he activates the trap card Another Fusion, which I really love the idea of this card. So this is a trap card fusion, which was allowing him to summon his fusion monster. So he uses Elemental Hero Ocean and uses Elemental Hero Woodsman to create his ace monster, Elemental Hero Terra Firma, which I really do like the design of this card a lot. I think this is a really cool ace monster. If you're used to the anime and you like, where's Flame Wingman or where's Neos? I will mention this to you real quick. Well, I'll mention this. Neos will not be in this manga. I know that for a fact. Manga Judai and Jin Judai are completely different. I mean, that's what I like about the manga is because there's their own different story to it that I just really like, that I really want to check out because I think it's so cool to kind of have a different story than the original one and have like what multiple stories it could have been. Like I think that's really cool. But he summons Terra Firma. Well, first he activates a trap card. I think it was like I can't remember the name of it, but as a trap card, I think it lowered his monster's attack points. Or no, I think it plays. I can't remember the. I think it was like morales of something. But then he activates another fusion, and then he activates. I think Shield Strike was the card they activate last. Again, I can't remember these. I read this a few days ago, so yeah, I'm not very good at memorizing things, and you guys know that for a fact. But with Shield Strike, he was able to deal damage, I think, equal to the attack points of the monster he destroyed, or something like that. Because he destroyed Cyber Dinosaur and was able to win the duel with Terra Firma. That's basically what the entire manga was. At the end, he just celebrates, and basically that was the end of the chapter. So yeah, it's these reviews are probably going to be a little bit shorter because I can normally read through them a lot faster and get the main points out. Because when I read something, it's really not that bad, honestly. So yeah, we also get to see Juma Jome in the when he was doing as well. He was just setting up the crowd with Asuka, Sho, and Kronos because Sho noticed right away that his spell cards was not activating, and it was the same thing that was going on with it. While Jada was down there freaking out about throwing his dual disc like a boomerang, and those two were just up there watching it, and Joey just smirking up there. I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, honestly, that's really it. There isn't much to talk about in these mangas because I can get the points out pretty clearly, but I think that's going to be it for this manga chapter review. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this first ever manga chapter review. This is going to be a really fun series that I do on the channel. Again, I'm going to be doing GX through OCG structures. For anyone that asks about the original like manga, like the first one, I don't know if I'm going to do that just because of the fact that the anime and the manga are almost identical. I don't think there is a point, but I'm going to be checking out these main ones, especially since they're so different, especially OCG structures, because even though it's like not your typical like Yu-Gi-Oh manga, I think it's honestly a pretty interesting manga. I've read 6 chapters of that already as well. I mean, I haven't only read GX. I think I've read the chapter of each of the ones except for Zexel. I don't know why. I just haven't been able to find it yet. So hopefully I can find that soon, or I might just go online and buy it and then just do the review like that. But yeah, that's basically it. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are going to read this yourselves or if you have read it. I mean, I don't know how much sales the mangas have gotten. I know it's probably like the least popular like of the Yu-Gi-Oh media from the anime and the card games and even the video games. It might be in competition with the video games, but those are pretty low if I'm honest. So who knows? But thank you guys so much for watching again. And until next time, guys, take care and have yourselves a good rest of your day.